Hey everyone, it's George from Blockchain DXB and today is the 26th of October 2022 and the global cryptocurrency market is doing really well. As a matter of fact, the crypto market volume over the last 24 hours is up by 68.72% and this is absolutely fantastic. And what I really liked about today's matrix is the volume of stable coins. So two things which have happened since the last 24 hours. The volume of stable coins has gone up and stablecoin accounts for a lesser percentage of the total crypto market 24-hour volume, which I think is great. Because what I've been saying for the past 6 months is there are two things which are wrong so far as stablecoins is concerned. The first one is the volume is ridiculously low, and apart from that, stablecoin accounts for a majority of the chunk of the total crypto market 24-hour volume. So it looks like the cryptocurrency market is definitely looking brilliant. And in today's episode, guys, I'm going to be talking about some really massive news. And the whole news is about Lightning Network, not blockchain. And one of the apps called as Cash App, they are utilizing the maximum benefits of Lightning Network. And the second news that I'm going to be talking about is MakerDAO protocol. And they have a partnership with Coinbase. And we'll try to explore where Circle USDC merges with them. So definitely great news for Coinbase. Great news for MakerDAO and DeFi, as well as great news for stablecoins, in particularly USDC. And we also have some really interesting news from Western Union, and looks like they are offering its digital services, which is going far beyond remittances. The next interesting news is about quick.com, and because of the whole Web3 hype, there is a news about buying .metaverse domains and quite a lot more. And I did check that Dubai.metaverse is currently on sale for 1,200 Ethereum. And look guys, if you're one of the OGs, one of the Ethereum whales, maybe you may want to consider purchasing Dubai.metaverse for 1,200 Ethereum. Absolutely massive. Now regarding UAE, I have two news, and both the news are relatively positive. The first news is about Guyway Events, and they plan to have a series of Web3 investment and trading dialogues in Dubai. So it's going to be really interesting to see the number of events they're going to be having in the final quarter of 2022. And the second news is about BitOasis, and they have partnered with MasterCard, and they plan to unveil crypto-linked payment cards in the MENA region. Now look guys, I am a brand ambassador of BitOasis, and I have to say that they are one of the leading cryptocurrency exchange in the Middle East. And they have been in Dubai, and they are definitely pioneering the way in Dubai and UAE so far as Bitcoin and cryptocurrency exchange is concerned. So definitely massive news. So let's kickstart today's episode. Welcome everyone, it's 18 here in Dubai and you're listening to Crypto and Coffee at 8, where we cover top news and information pertaining to Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi and Metaverse. And of the series of episodes in the Crypto and Coffee at 8 works is, we usually cover some top news and information pertaining to the powers of cryptocurrencies, some major breaking news, occasionally short and sweet news as well. News that has an impact in the cryptocurrency world. The other two news and information is related to Dubai, UAE and Middle East and the world of Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi and Metaverse. And this is followed by Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions from the cryptocurrency world. And every Fridays, guys, I have an episode called Metaverse Everything, where we solely focus on Metaverse. So please check out those episodes as well. And the format for Metaverse Everything podcast is completely different. And what I tend to do is, I also publish a daily and weekly report via my LinkedIn profile. So please follow me on LinkedIn. My LinkedIn profile is in the show notes below. Now before we kickstart today's episode, I have an important message. So check this out. Firstly guys, Startup OI is global one tech platform for tech. It offers global high-paying tech jobs with flexibility in working time and location, global free tech events, and tech networks to connect with global like-minded engineers. A brilliant platform to listen to the tech experts in Metaverse and to grab their insights. Now listen, all you have to do is download the app Startup OI. If you're using an Android version, go to Google Store and App Store for iOS devices. Alternatively, you can also click on the show notes below to download Startup OI. Next, guys, listen, if you're into fitness, if you're into adventure, if you want to do something wild but still want to keep your health in check, there is a new podcast in town, a podcast focusing on obstacle course race in the Middle East. The podcast is called Rise in the Obstacle Course Race, And Rise in the Obstacle Course Race podcast is a peer-to-peer community-driven podcast where they talk all about obstacle course race in the Middle East, from Sandstorm to Spartan Race, from Tough Mudder to Desert Warrior Challenge, and also the Government Gov Games, and quite a lot more. The podcast has interviews with athletes locally and internationally to get inside scoop on how athletes prepare for obstacle course race. In the podcast, they also talk about interesting stories on why they are motivated to do obstacle course race. And that's not all. They also plan to release 7 NFTs. And these NFTs are no ordinary. These NFTs will represent every emirate in the UAE. And listen guys, these NFTs are going to be absolutely massive. So do one thing, go to Spotify, go to iTunes, go to any leading podcasting platform and search for Rise in the Obstacle Course Race podcast. And finally guys, not your keys, not your crypto. If you have dabbled with cryptocurrencies and now are seriously getting to protect your cryptocurrencies, there is no better way to protect it by using a hardware wallet. And this is where Ledger Wallet kicks in. And Ledger Wallets are hardware cryptocurrency wallets made by Ledger, a company headquartered in Paris, France. And Ledger's hardware wallets are multi-currency wallets that are used to store private keys for cryptocurrencies offline. And Ledger offers 2 hardware wallets, the Ledger Nano and Ledger Nano X wallets. They are world-class experts with extensive crypto security backgrounds. They continuously look for vulnerabilities in Ledger products in a constant effort to improve the level of security. Now, in today's world, securing these digital assets is a critical challenge, and this is where Ledger kicks in. So click the link below to buy your hardware wallet and support this podcast. It is a brilliant way to support this podcast. So what are you waiting for? The link is in the show notes below. Now, since we have taken care of that, let's talk about the global crypto market. The global crypto market is looking ridiculously good. If you look at CoinMarketCap, all of the cryptocurrency platforms are looking in green. Does this mean that bullish times are ahead? I don't think so yet, but still, nonetheless, definitely looking good. Dogecoin has been ridiculously up since the last week as well. Now, the global crypto market is at $977.01 billion, and since the last 24 hours, it is up by 5.07%. The total crypto market volume over the last 24 hours is at $89.24 billion. Now, this isn't still the best, but definitely much better than the last 6 months. And since the last 24 hours, it is up by 68.72%. The interesting thing, and sadly, is that the volume of DeFi is staggeringly low, and it is at $3.68 billion, and DeFi accounts for only 4.12% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume. As of today, $53.76 billion is locked in all DeFi protocols, and MakerDAO accounts for 14.90% with $8.01 billion locked in MakerDAO protocol. And in today's episode, guys, I'm going to be talking about MakerDAO, how it has had a partnership with Coinbase Prime to be precise, and how that will have an impact on Circle USDC and quite a lot more. So definitely positive news for MakerDAO, for Coinbase and the DeFi sector as well. Unfortunately, the prices do not indicate that. Let's look at the volume of stablecoins. The volume of stablecoins is also much better. And what I really liked, as I mentioned at the beginning of this podcast, is stablecoin accounts for a relatively lesser percentage of the total crypto market 24-hour volume at 90.56%. The volume of stablecoins is at $80.82 billion, and out of that $80.82 billion, Tether USDT accounts for $67.24 billion, Circle USDC accounts for $4.67 billion, and Binance USD accounts for $8.23 billion. And to be honest, guys, I really am not sure why the volume of stablecoins has gone up. Is it got to do with Tether USDT's news that they are connected with a couple of ATMs in Brazil? Or is it because of Circle USDC's partnership with Coinbase and MakerDAO? I really am not sure, but definitely positive news. And it's news such as this that actually makes a lot of sense, because central bank digital currencies will not be lacking this particular news. Now let's look at NFTs. And this week, guys, I'm comparing the top 3 NFT platforms. And all the top 3 NFT platforms are in green. That is positive as well. So Flow's market share is at $1.56 billion, and since the last 24 hours it is up by 4.6%. ApeCoin's market share is at $1.49 billion, and it is up by 6.1%. And Sandbox is at number 3 and its market share is at $1.14 billion. And since the last 24 hours, it is up by 3.01%. And yesterday, guys, in my podcast, I did talk about Tezos showing up as number 3. So it looks like that was an error. And I did look at this information via CoinGecko. So when you're looking at information, particularly under the section which says NFTs or which says Metaverse, the information need not necessarily be correct. Because last week, in the Metaverse Everything podcast, or the week before that, I think ICP or Internet Computer Protocol was showing under Metaverse. So when you're researching this information, make sure you double check. Just because the information is available on these platforms does not mean it is 100% accurate. Now let's look at the market share, 24-hour trading volume and dominance between Bitcoin and Ethereum. And surprisingly, the numbers are definitely much better, but it needs to be much better if you're heading towards the bullish market. Bitcoin's market share is at $388 billion and Ethereum's market share is at $181 billion. The 24-hour trading volume of Ethereum is almost double than yesterday. So it looks like there is a lot of action going on so far as Ethereum is concerned, and most likely people are buying Ethereum because the price of Ethereum has gone up as well. So as of 26th of October, the 24-hour trading volume is $26.5 billion, whereas Bitcoin's 24-hour trading volume is at $49.9 billion. And to be honest, it might just cross the $50 billion mark in just the next couple of minutes or the next few hours. The dominance of Bitcoin and Ethereum both have gone up. Bitcoin's dominance is at 39.80% and Ethereum's dominance is at 18.60%. And guys, one thing what I've been doing since this month is I'm looking at the top 5 smart contracting platforms just to get a feel of which smart contracting platform is heading in the right direction. Ethereum's market share is at $181 billion, which is leading the pack, whereas Binance BNB is at $45.76 billion, Cardano is at number 3rd at $13.70 billion, Solana is at $11.18 billion, and Polkadot is at $7.57 billion. So the question for today is, if you're, let's say, a startup or a business entity trying to build something in the Web 3.0 or blockchain world, what smart contracting platform would you pick? Would you pick Ethereum? Would you pick BNB? Would you pick Cardano? Would you pick Solana, Polkadot? Or would you pick Algorand or something else? Or would you pick Bitcoin's Lightning Network? Mention your comments in the comment sections below. Now let's look at the king of all kings, that is Bitcoin. The price of Bitcoin is up at $20,203, and since the last 24 hours it is up by 4.70%, and since the last 7 days it is up by 4.79%. Ethereum has definitely been doing good, particularly since the last 24 hours. It is at $1,486, and since the last 24 hours it is up by 10.90%, and since the last 7 days it is up by 13.85%. Binance Coin is at $286, and since the last 24 hours it is up by 4.56%, and since the last 7 days it is up by 5.23%. So overall, the global cryptocurrency market is definitely doing a lot better. Now surprisingly, in yesterday's podcast I talked about Clayton blockchain, and there is news that it did go up as high as 30% yesterday, but the prices have fallen down. So that's one of the reasons, guys, when you're looking at any cryptocurrency platform, make sure you do your own research. Now the news that I'd like to talk about is Lightning Network, not blockchain. And listen, guys, if you've been listening to my podcast, the narrative Lightning Network, not blockchain, is gaining momentum, not just in the Bitcoin maximalist community, but also in the cryptocurrency community. And what I plan to do is, I want to release a series of 6 episodes explaining Lightning Network, and I want to do it at 3 different levels. So I want to have 2 episodes at a complete basic and beginner level, 2 episodes at an advanced level, and 2 episodes at a technical level. So hopefully in November I will be releasing 6 episodes explaining Lightning Network at a basic level, advanced level, and technical level. Now the mainstream adoption of Lightning Network may not be lightning years away, and there is massive news about an app called Cash App. And the news, guys, is Cash App adds support for Bitcoin Lightning Network, Now, if you go to the website, it gives very clear indication that you can use Lightning Network to buy, send and receive Bitcoin and Cash App. And the article is written in a very basic and really easy to understand way. It explains brilliantly how to send and receive Lightning Network, how to request for Lightning Network via code, and quite a lot more. Now listen guys, if you do want to get information on Lightning Network, I would strongly recommend you to read through this particular article. It is as basic as it can get. And one thing which I often say is, things need to be so easy that even a 5-year-old can understand. And if you read through the article clearly explains everything at a very basic and easy to understand level. And the article also mentions that Cash App does have a limit of $999 in Bitcoin every 7 days using Lightning Network. So Lightning Network is ideally used for small purchases, let's say to buy coffee, to buy water or for groceries and quite a lot more. And guys, Bitcoin, when it was made a legal tender in El Salvador, they did that using Lightning Network. But a strange thing which the article mentions is that this Lightning Network facility is not available for residents of extreme left-leaning state of New York. So it looks like politics and politicians do have an impact in the trajectory and direction of cryptocurrencies. But nonetheless, very positive news for Lightning Network. Now listen guys, if you are an expert in Lightning Network, I would definitely like to hear from you. Maybe get you on my podcast, and you may be someone who's a technical nerd. Maybe you can share your thoughts and opinions. It could be positive or it could be negative, and you can share your thoughts about Lightning Network. And in the meantime guys, if you do want to look at the snapshot or dashboard of Lightning Network, Bitcoin Visuals does provide a dashboard with charts and statistics on nodes, channels, capacity, distance measures, and quite a lot more. And the link for Bitcoin Visuals is in my LinkedIn post. So search for the LinkedIn post on the 26th of October and you'll get the direct link. Now the second news and the massive news is about MakerDAO. And MakerDAO community votes to approve a custody of $1.6 billion in Circle's USDC with Coinbase. So what's going to happen is the MakerDAO community will earn a 1.5% reward on its USDC while holding funds with Coinbase Prime. So really good news. And what I really like in this particular news is Coinbase blog did actually state that the MakerDAO community voted to approve the proposal and the funds will be kept safe, secure and accessible 24/7, 365 days to the DAO peg stability module. And this is guys one of the biggest challenge when you talk about stablecoin. Who audits the backing? Is it done by an independent auditor like Tether USDT does, or is the audit open to the community? So it's great news that Coinbase did actually mention that the audit is available 24/7, 365 days. Now what I'd really recommend you to do is go to Coinbase and read through the blog. It does provide detailed information on what the move is. So definitely a brilliant news for MakerDAO. Brilliant news I think for the stablecoin community as well. It's going to be really interesting to see how Binance reacts to this, because in the past I did talk about some drama going on between Binance BUSD and Circle USDC. Now guys, the next news that I'd like to talk about is about Western Union. The Western Union has been making quite a lot of news so far as the remittance industry is concerned. And Michael Condidis, who I've mentioned a number of times in my podcast, he actually mentioned via Twitter that Western Union has filed for 3 trademark applications, and an article by CoinDesk states that the trademark application seems to hint at an asset and commodity exchange, insurance, and Western Union's own token as it faces increasingly diverse competition in the remittances market. And guys, Michael Condidis, I would strongly recommend you to follow him on Twitter, because whenever there are top brands who have an NFT patent, he's the first guy who mentions it via Twitter. And Cointelegraph and CoinDesk, they often follow his tweet and mention that in mainstream blog. So if you're someone who's quite keen in the NFT space, I would really recommend you to follow Michael Condidis. And I do feel that he might be the first person who's breaking news to the industry. So definitely positive news. But the big question, guys, is why does Western Union have to focus so much on remittances? Because that is exactly why Bitcoin was created. Bitcoin was created so that the remittances problem is solved and the transactions happen peer-to-peer. But still, nonetheless, an interesting move by Western Union. Now, looks like they are facing a lot of competition in the remittances market. And I do feel, guys, Bitcoin Lightning Network could be a potential threat for the existence of Western Union, PayPal, and quite a lot more. So in my series that I plan to have regarding Lightning Network, I'll definitely try to explore some of the competitors that Lightning Network will eventually have. Now the next news that I'd like to talk about is the whole Web 3.0 hype. And Quick.com, they are offering registry of a couple of domain names such as .metaverse, .web3, and 8 other NFT domains. So what I did go to Quick.com and I did check for Dubai.metaverse, and it is currently on sale for 1,200 Ethereum. And if you are an Ethereum whale, and if you want to get into Metaverse, do you think it is a deal to spend 1,200 Ethereum for Dubai.metaverse? I really am not sure, because people in Dubai have paid $1 million, maybe even more, for getting a specific car plate license number. So buying Dubai.metaverse for 1,200 Ethereum in Dubai is extremely possible. And Quick.com serves as a portal of entry to this decentralized feature of the decentralized future by offering an exclusive registry of the .metaverse domains and .web3 domains extensions, as well as 8 other domains. So if you are someone who wants to get a domain which is followed by .web3 or .metaverse and 8 other NFT domains, do check out Quick.com. Now guys, let's talk about 2 news regarding UAE. But before we move on to 2 crypto and blockchain news regarding UAE, I have 2 news regarding obstacle course race in UAE. The first news is about Spartan Race, and they have a massive event in December, the World Championship. And this is the second time they have the World Championship event in Abu Dhabi. And guys, I have a standalone episode with Spartan Race founder Joe Cena talking about Spartan Race NFT. And Sean, who's the Chief Technology Officer, was also in the podcast. And Calvin, who's one of the OGs in the NFT space, was at the podcast as well. So we discussed from a business point of view, why did Spartan Race decide to go ahead and launch its NFT, what were the challenges, and quite a lot more. So please check out those episodes. It is a standalone episode talking more about NFTs and not so much regarding obstacle course race. And the second message is also about obstacle course race and my favorite one, that is Tough Mudder. And listen guys, I'm on a mission to do my 100th Tough Mudder, so check both the messages now. The first message is from Spartan. Now Spartan is a global fitness brand with 10 million strong community. They create transformational events, experiences, products and content to help people, companies and teams tear down boundaries and expand what they believe to be possible. From day one, nearly 2 decades ago, they've been champions of human transformation, and they live to help people get outside, eat healthy, and develop habits that lead to a life of constant progress. With families of brands, they push people from every corner of the globe outside the comfort zone and immerse them in a world of tough fitness and elite sports. Now they do this because you can face and overcome adversity head on and your potential is limitless. Now this year in December, in Abu Dhabi, the land of Gazelle, thousands of athletes and spectators will gather at the metropolis in the desert to compete for Spartan immortality. This is a unique opportunity to watch the world's best obstacle course race athletes compete for world championship and have your group conquer the course themselves. The massive event takes place from the 2nd till the 4th of December this year. Now for Spartan World Championship, the ticket details and registration to the programs are mentioned in the links below. Now if you are into running, if you are into adventure, and if you are in UAE, you definitely need to check this out. And the second news, guys, is about Tough Mudder. Now listen guys, there are 3 things that I'm extremely passionate about. All 3 of them have some kind of similarity. That is heavy metal, Bitcoin and obstacle course race. Now we've looked at the premier obstacle course race event, that is Spartan Race, which is taking place between the 2nd and 4th of December. But the next one that I'd like to discuss is Tough Mudder. Now Tough Mudder is unique, and I did my very first obstacle course race, that was Tough Mudder. And Tough Mudder obstacles are more fun, more adventurous, and it involves a lot of teamwork. And you can also use my promo code, which is George25, for a 25% discount. Now if you are into running, if you are into adventure, if you are into obstacle course race, you definitely need to sign up for this event. So go to the website toughmudderarabia.com, and you can also follow them on Instagram. The Instagram handle is toughmudderarabia. Now guys, since you've taken care of that, let's look at two news from UAE. And the first news is about Guyway, and the news is that Guyway leads the New World Web3 investment and trading dialogues in Dubai with a series of events. Now if you go to the website, that is guyway.net, unfortunately, the website does not give you any information. You need to go through the Telegram channel, which is mentioned on the website, or the WhatsApp channel. And if you go to the LinkedIn of Guyway events, it does say that they are focusing on fintech and blockchain events in Dubai. And on the website, the only thing it says, NFT-based networking club with provable reputation and additional benefits. And the news which was mentioned in Zavia.com is Guyway leads New World Web3 investment and trading dialogue in Dubai with a series of events. And they plan to have exclusive trading and investment panel to be hosted with Dubai industry leaders and global crypto professionals. So let me try to share some information of what this news is. On 25th of October, that is yesterday, Guyway hosted one of its legendary meetup, bringing together the top people from the industry across the globe. And the event took place at JBR, but unfortunately the event only could be accessed through personal invitation about registration. Now really I'm not sure having a personal invitation for an open blockchain and open cryptocurrencies where there is no central entities involved is ideal, but nonetheless, but maybe the event was meant for only selective individuals. And the welcome speech was given by renowned Ahmed bin Suleiman, who's the executive chairman and CEO of DMCC. And guys, I do follow him on LinkedIn. He often provides really useful information via his LinkedIn profile, and the dynamic networking events highlighted some of year's most trending dialogues in the business, finance, and development realms. And the panel topics included trading and investment tips for the crypto winter, in innovative technologies development and investment, and a final of panel hosted by Gordon Einstein with some of the most famous influencers in the crypto scene. Now I did go to the list of influencers, and to be honest, none of the crypto influencers is someone who I would like to attend to, but nonetheless, great event. And what is mentioned on the leading publication, that is Zavia.com, is Guyway Group is also the organizer and co-founder of the iconic WOW Summit, one of the biggest international Web3 conferences that takes place in Dubai and other parts of the world. And they made their debut in Dubai in October 2021 after a successful first edition, and WOW Summit took place again in Dubai in March of this year at the iconic Burj Khalifa Park, making it one of the first Web3 events to take place at a significant location. And the WOW Summit is heading to Lisbon next month and Hong Kong the next year. The list of speakers will be available on their website pretty soon, but unfortunately, when you go through the website, it only asks you to join the Telegram channel and WhatsApp group. Now guys, the second and the massive news, and that is between BitOasis. So the news is that BitOasis and MasterCard has signed a strategic partnership across MENA to launch crypto-linked cards. So what's going to happen is BitOasis customers will be able to link their crypto wallet balances to physical or virtual cards and make fiat payments across 90 million using their BitOasis Master Crypto Card. And the new payment method will accelerate crypto adoption in the region by enabling customers to make payments across MasterCard's network. Brilliant news for Dubai and UAE, and also for the cryptocurrency community as well. It definitely gets a lot of mainstream adoption and makes it easier for an average individual users to go ahead and make purchases. So excellent use case between BitOasis and MasterCard. So what's going to happen is BitOasis customers will be able to convert their cryptocurrency holdings to fiat currency, allowing the consumer to easily shop and pay at more than 90 million merchants locations globally. And guys, the first BitOasis cards are expected to be launched in early of 2023 in the markets with regulatory approvals. So definitely brilliant news. So imagine if I am a BitOasis customer and I do have, let's say, a couple of Bitcoin or a couple of stable coins, it will be connected to my BitOasis MasterCard, and I go to, let's say, any grocery store and I just swipe it and voila, the thing is done. So BitOasis customers who can also access a range of MasterCard benefits will be issued with virtual and physical BitOasis cards through a simple and compliant digital onboarding experience via the BitOasis app, allowing them to transact seamlessly, physically and online. So guys, do one thing, download BitOasis. And guys, I have been in the Bitcoin space since 2013, and when I moved to Dubai, there used to be a series of events in Emirates Tower called as Future Money. And the CEO, she used to be one of the speakers going back to 2013, explaining to people what Bitcoin is, what cryptocurrency is. So she is definitely one of the icons in the Bitcoin industry, in the cryptocurrency industry from the Middle East region. And now because of this partnership between Bitcoin and MasterCard, BitOasis customer transactions will be enabled to take place in fiat currencies, thereby adding consumer protection such as provisions for dispute resolutions and refunds, which don't exist today when paying with a digital asset. So the partnership will address these pain points and further drive customer awareness and crypto adoption in the region. There are two mixed reactions to this, because when you talk about cryptocurrencies, the problem of chargeback does not exist at all. But with this, it is good that there is a possibility of chargebacks. But when you talk about Lightning Network, I do believe that Lightning Network works the other way around. So how Lightning Network works is, let's say if I have just a debit card not connected to the cryptocurrencies, I go to the grocery shop accepts the payment in fiat currencies, but the underlying technology in which the settlement is done, that is Lightning Network. So this move is kind of the opposite news of Lightning Network, but nonetheless a brilliant use case. And what I really like about this particular news is it tackles the whole chargeback situation as well. So customers need not be worried so far as chargeback is concerned, because the transactions are done in fiat currencies. So brilliant move by BitOasis and MasterCard. And Ola Dordin, who's the CEO and founder of BitOasis, has said, "We continue to witness sustained demand amongst our customers for crypto to be integrated into and relevant for their daily lives. And research tells us that 47% of the Middle East population now believe crypto is the future of money. As the largest crypto platform built for the GCC and the MENA region, we are delighted to partner with MasterCard to enable BitOasis customers to benefit from the convenience of linking the BitOasis wallets to the BitOasis Master Crypto Cards for use across MasterCard's global merchant network. And our mission at BitOasis is to enable a new digital financial system that is transparent, inclusive, regulated, and relevant on a daily basis, while providing even greater safety and security for cryptocurrency payments. And today's partnership helps us deliver against our mission." So definitely brilliant news. And I do feel that Ola Dordin is a pioneering leader so far as the MENA region in the cryptocurrency space is concerned. So definitely brilliant news. And guys, listen, I'm also the brand ambassador for BitOasis. So if you do have any questions or any feedback, you can also ask me a personal question and mention that in the comments below. So that's all for today, guys, on the Crypto and Coffee at 8 from Blockchain DXB. In case if you have any feedback or suggestions, please drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com. Check out my website, that is www.blockchaindxb.com. And also check out my other website, that is area2071.com, that talks everything about Metaverse. And if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. Now for the next few minutes is going to be an Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. So let's kickstart with the Ask Me Anything series. Hey everyone, it's George from Blockchain DXB. You're listening to the Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. And remember, Monday to Thursdays, 8 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. we have Crypto and Coffee at 8, where we cover top news and information pertaining to Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. And this is followed by 2 news and information related to Dubai, UAE, and Middle East in the world of Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. And what you're listening to right now is the Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions from the cryptocurrency world. I have a question by Marco asks, what are your thoughts on potential US ban on TikTok, and is decentralization the way forward? Now Mark, I did read through that news, I just saw the headlines, but did not go into further. But I do agree with what you're saying. Now, my thoughts are that TikTok is kind of like a notorious organization because I did talk about this literally 2 years ago when Donald Trump was the president. So what TikTok essentially does is when you download the app, they have a couple of other download things which are not connected to TikTok, and using that, they can get access to your banking, login information, and quite a lot more. Now, this was when Donald Trump was president, and that was the time when people were talking about users having self-sovereign identity, where users only should get access to their own information. Looks like the US is taking another turn and once again going after TikTok. Now, to answer your question, is decentralization the way forward? I really do not think so, Mark. To be completely honest, a lot of the articles that I'm seeing stating that decentralization solves this, I 100% do not think so. What if there is a decentralized app like TikTok does the exact same thing? So let's say if they are compromising with security, releasing all information, and it is being accessed by any companies willing to pay for it, what happens in that case? The impact would be 10 times severe. In case of TikTok, at least US or any country can go after TikTok and get that thing solved. But in case of a decentralized or distributed protocol, that just cannot happen, and it makes the situation completely worse. So to answer your question, Mark, I don't think having a decentralized or distributed form of social media is the right way to go forward. Just think of it. Replace TikTok with a decentralized or distributed app. And if that app has a glitch, or if someone is able to hack that app, or if someone has access to majority of the chunk of tokens, what if they try to do the exact same thing that TikTok is doing? In that case, the situation gets 10 times worse. So to answer your question, Mark, no, I don't think that decentralized or distributed is the way to go. And yesterday, guys, I do believe that in Dubai and in UAE, WhatsApp was down. And I was seeing so many articles stating that WhatsApp is down and it's time for decentralization or distributed. Guys, I hate to say this, but that is 100% not true. In case of WhatsApp being down, there are ways where WhatsApp can actually rebuild the entire thing, get it fixed, and start working once again. In case of decentralized or distributed network, who will go ahead and fix this problem? When you're talking about who will go ahead and fix this problem, if you're saying that software engineers all over the world will come to fix it, there is a very high degree of centralization in actually doing that. One of the reasons why I always say is blockchain technology does have very limited use cases. Beyond payments such as Bitcoin, I really don't think so. At least for now, if there are any other use case. I have talked this a number of times in the past that there was an app from India called as Murmur. They tried to replicate Twitter using blockchain, and that was built, I believe, on Ethereum blockchain. The biggest problem was that when you tried to log in, the minimum cost required was $3. Now, I do admit that the company was willing to pay for that cost, and that price might have gone down as well, but every time someone tweeted or murmured in that, you had to wait till the block was produced, and that was time consuming. When someone posted something, the moment you click on like or when you click on support, I'm not sure what that terminology was called. The example I can think of is, let's say if someone tweets, the moment you like it or retweet it, they had a similar feature. That thing doing it on a blockchain is an absolute nightmare, and the user experience is, if not horrendous and terrible. And I don't think so that might change over time, but let me explain what that was. So let's say if someone murmured in the Murmur app in order to like it or retweet it, it took time, because what it needs to do is it needs to record that you have liked it or retweeted it, and that goes into a blockchain, and that's where the whole immutability kicks in. And that was an absolute nightmare experience. I don't see that being solved in the next maybe a couple of decades, because you always need to remember, Mark, the whole blockchain trilemma problem, that is security, scalability, and decentralization. Any platform that says they are solving this, they are heavily compromising in either one or two of them. So to answer your question, Mark, is decentralization the way forward for apps built, let's say, on social media? I 100% don't think so. And surprisingly, Mark, day before yesterday, I was just looking at when Bitcoin was created and when TikTok and Instagram was created, and surprisingly, TikTok and Instagram were created well after Bitcoin was created. And if you look at the user adoption in TikTok and Instagram, is definitely much higher and much better than Bitcoin. So this whole notion that, Web 3.0 and blockchain solves everything is not entirely true, and it is unfortunately just a marketing ploy. So that's all for today, guys, on the Ask Me Anything series on Blockchain DXB. In case if you guys have any feedback or suggestions, please drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com and check out my website www.blockchaindxb.com. And guys, check out my other website, that is area2071.com. And if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. And remember, Monday to Thursdays, 8 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. we have Crypto and Coffee at 8, where we cover top news and information pertaining to Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. And how this series of episodes on the Crypto and Coffee at 8 works is, we usually cover some top news and information pertaining to the price of cryptocurrencies, some major breaking news, occasionally short and sweet news as well, news that has an impact in the cryptocurrency world. The other two news and information is related to Dubai, UAE, and Middle East in the world of Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. And this is followed by Ask Me Anything series that you're listening to right now, where your listeners can ask any questions from the cryptocurrency world. So thanks so much for listening, guys, and have a great day ahead. Bye-bye.